Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to look at a little bit of the way that I organize and how I dress things up. I hope you'll stay tuned. So I had this, it's a piece of cardboard, and one day I was bored, and so I took two of my very inexpensive washi tapes and I just started wrapping it around the edges, and then I put a different pattern in the middle. I covered the whole thing with clear contact paper to make it something I could use. Unfortunately, well, you can see it's from an old Fiskars paper trimmer. Unfortunately, it was too bold to be using as a background, so I haven't figured out a use for it yet, but it was in a video and one of my viewers asked about it, so I thought I would walk through how I did it. It is very simple, and I'll just kind of explain it to you on the fly. You'll just take your washi tape, and this really cheap Dollar Tree washi tape works really good for this. And you just lay your strips, and then you just keep laying and laying and laying, and then you go around the sides. I recommend doing all of one side first. Like if you want to go in 5 rows, do 5 rows, then turn it, do 5 rows, then turn it and do 5 rows. It's even better if you do this side and this side with 5 rows and then both of your ends. That way you have a cleaner look on your ends. It's I don't know, it just looks better. And then I just filled the middle section with straight rows of the dotted kind. So I had been thinking about what to do with another box, and this was a makeup box. I bought it at a garage sale for $1, and I just was I bought these Arteza brush markers. I hope that's how you say it. And you got 48 of them. And I wanted to put them in something that was easier for me to use, so I thought this would be perfect for it. And since I only paid $1 for it, but on the top of it said like manicure and pedicure and blah blah blah, and I was like, well, clearly I don't want that. So what I did was I started with, this is called artist tape, but you get it at the Dollar Tree, and I think I have another package I can show you so you can look for it. It's by Jot. It's called Art Tape, and then I used this as a corresponding color, and it was from Stampin' Up, and it went with this paper. And then I just went around the edges with the black, and then filled in with the green, and then I just did the same. I just did patterns on the corners. It's very, very simple. And then to glue my paper down, I put tear tape underneath it and a little bit of wet glue. Very little wet glue. I didn't want it to buckle. And then to make sure I knew what it was, I put a label on the front, because sometimes I get confused because I have a lot of boxes because I like them. So then I wanted to show you how I organize markers or any pencil product or any kind of medium that will or can be a different color than the bottom. So what I did was I took a pad of name badges. Again, you can get these at the Dollar Tree, but they're just called name badge labels, and I got those. Rich actually had them from work, and what I did was they come, you can see the sticker goes this way. So what I did was I cut my paper long ways, and then you can get 3 out of each area. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your marker, and these are brush pens, don't forget, and it's easier to use brush pens if you do them straight up and down. And I know from experience that I don't need the full length of one of these name badges. I only need a portion of it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to wait for it to dry. So I'll do just a couple more so that we can have the first one dry. You don't have to cover the whole thing. I like to, because then I have a much cleaner image on my marker. And I'll show you that in a second, how there's such a big difference between what the cap shows and what you actually get. That to me is so frustrating when I think I'm using a color and it's not even close to the color that I thought I was going to use. Okay, so my very first color I did is this one. And I'm going to just peel my label off. I'm going to trim off the excess that I don't need. And you want to look on your pen for where the word is of what the name is, and right there on mine it says green tea. So you want to line it up so it's straight, and I like to be as close as I can get it to that name. And then once I've wrapped it all the way around once, I just snip the excess off. And then see that color? And then you see that color. There is a difference. I'll do one more so you can see the difference, because it's frustrating to me. I don't know if it's frustrating to anybody else, but I get really angry when I don't know what colors I'm actually using. When I think I'm using like a light pink and it turns out to be a coral, or another shade that's not even close to what I thought it was. And then I take it to there and I cut off. I know I have stuff tucked to my, and there's that color versus the top. So we know exactly what color our markers are. So that was just a quick tip video for you. I did have a viewer ask me to show how to make that board that I made first, and I wanted to make sure I did update you on how to do that in case you wanted to. Contact paper, make sure that your washi tape doesn't come up. That's kind of the most important part of that project. So I hope you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and please tell your friends about me on social media, because I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.